I never thought one playful challenge could change the way I saw myself forever. My name's Daniel, and on the surface, I'm just another 21-year-old college guy, average grades, part-time job, a small but loyal group of friends. If you passed me in the hallway, you probably wouldn't even notice me. But if you looked closer, you might catch the way I hesitate, the way my eyes linger too long on things I pretend not to care about. For as long as I can remember, I've been fascinated by things I wasn't supposed to be. Dresses, skirts, the delicate way fabric flows. Lipstick that could change a face with a single stroke. Heels that click with confidence across polished floors. I never dared to touch them, at least not until recently. Those thoughts lived in the back of my mind, buried deep under layers of denial, fear, and the constant worry of being found out. Emma, my girlfriend, never suspected. Or maybe she did. She has this sharp, playful way of reading me, like she knows my secrets before I say them out loud. We'd been together a little over a year, close enough that she could tease me mercilessly, comfortable enough that I usually let her. She was bold where I was cautious, adventurous where I was reserved. She loved dares, little challenges that tested limits, mine especially. It was a Saturday afternoon when it started, one of those lazy days where the world felt slow. We were in her bedroom, music playing softly, sunlight spilling through her curtains. Emma sat cross-legged on her bed, scrolling through her phone, while I lounged in her desk chair, spinning it absently. She glanced up at me with that mischievous smile of hers. "You know," she said almost too casually, "I bet you wouldn't last 5 minutes in one of my outfits." I laughed, pretending her words bounced right off me. "What's that supposed to mean?" Her grin widened. "I mean, you're always so serious, so plain. Imagine you in something cute. A skirt, maybe one of my tops. You'd look adorable." The word hit me like a shock. Adorable. She couldn't have known how dangerous that word was, how it brushed against the very thing I'd kept hidden. My heart stuttered, my palms sweating. I forced a chuckle, shaking my head. "Yeah, right. Not happening." Emma tilted her head, eyes narrowing in mock challenge. "Scared." That single word lit a fire under me. Scared. She always knew how to corner me, how to push just enough to get a reaction. "I'm not scared," I said too quickly. "Then prove it," she teased, sliding off the bed. She opened her closet door with a flourish, pulling out a short floral skirt and a fitted top. She held them up like prizes, her eyes sparkling. "Put these on. Just for fun." I froze. The room suddenly felt smaller, the air thicker. My gaze flicked to the clothes in her hands, then back to her face. She wasn't joking, at least not entirely. This was it. The kind of moment I'd imagined countless times, always in secret. To actually live it? My chest tightened with both fear and anticipation. Emma smirked. "Come on, Daniel. What's the worst that could happen? It's just us. No one else has to know." No one else had to know. Her words dangled like bait, impossible to resist. I swallowed hard, feeling the tug of 2 different worlds, the safe, predictable Daniel I'd always been, and the secret, curious part of me that longed to step out. My voice cracked when I finally said, "Fine. Just this once." Emma's smile turned triumphant, her eyes glinting like she'd just unlocked something she always suspected was there. She tossed me the outfit, and as I caught it, the fabric soft against my fingers, a shiver ran through me. I didn't know it yet, but that dare wasn't going to end when the clothes came off. It was only the beginning. Emma tossed the skirt and top into my hands like they were nothing more than fabric. To me, they were electric. My fingers tingled against the floral cotton as if it might burn me, but I couldn't let her see how rattled I was. "Well," she said, raising her brows. "Don't tell me you're backing out already." I shook my head quickly. "No." I said I'd do it. "Then go on," she said, folding her arms, waiting. I looked around her room, my pulse thundering. "You expect me to just change here?" She laughed. "Daniel, it's just me. I've seen you in less." The heat rose in my cheeks. She wasn't wrong, but this was different. This wasn't just skin. This was identity, choice, something deeper. Still, I stood, the skirt limp in my hands, and made my way toward her bathroom. Emma rolled her eyes. Fine, go hide. But don't take forever. I want to see. Inside the bathroom, I closed the door and leaned against it, my breath shaky. The clothes felt heavier than they should, as if wearing them meant carrying the weight of a decision I couldn't take back. I peeled off my t-shirt and jeans, folding them neatly on the counter, stalling for as long as I could. Finally, I stepped into the skirt. The fabric slid up my legs smoothly, the waistband snug against my hips. My knees wobbled. I'd imagined this so many times, but nothing compared to the reality of it. The air against my bare thighs, the lightness of the fabric, the strange, forbidden comfort. Then the top. Soft, stretchy, clinging in places my usual shirts never did. I tugged it down, my chest feeling oddly exposed. I stared at myself in the mirror. It was ridiculous, my messy hair, my awkward stance, my nervous expression, but there was something else, too. A flicker of recognition. Like I was seeing a version of myself that had always been waiting just beneath the surface. Emma's voice rang out from the bedroom. Are you alive in there? Or should I call the paramedics? I swallowed hard. I'm coming. When I stepped out, Emma's eyes widened. For a second, her smirk faltered. Then she burst into laughter. Oh my God, Daniel. You. She covered her mouth, trying to stifle her giggles. You actually pulled it off better than I thought. I froze, unsure whether to feel humiliated or proud. You're just messing with me. She shook her head, still grinning. No, really? You look wow. I mean, sure, you need some work, but the bones are there. Work? I asked cautiously. Her grin sharpened. Makeup. Hair. The whole package. Panic surged through me. Wait, that wasn't part of the deal. Deals evolve, Emma said breezily, already rummaging through her makeup drawer. Besides, don't you want to see how far you can go? Did I? The answer pulsed through me in ways I didn't want to admit. My heart said, yes, even as my mouth fumbled. I don't know. Emma patted the bed. Sit. Let me work my magic. I hesitated, then sank onto the edge of the bed. She came over with brushes and palettes, her expression gleeful but focused, like an artist facing a blank canvas. As she leaned in close, I could smell her perfume, sweet, floral, intoxicating. The brush tickled my skin, a swirl of powder settling on my cheeks. She hummed softly, tilting my chin, her fingers firm but gentle. You're not blinking enough, she teased as she traced eyeliner across my lid. Relax, Daniel. Trust me. I tried, though my chest felt tight, every heartbeat echoing in my ears. Yet as the minutes passed, I felt something shift. The face in the mirror wasn't entirely mine anymore. Foundation blurred imperfections, mascara lengthened lashes, lipstick brought color I'd never dared to wear. Emma stepped back, surveying her work. Not bad, she murmured. Actually, not bad at all. I turned toward the mirror, my breath catching. The person staring back at me wasn't just Daniel in a skirt. She was softer, brighter, almost pretty. And in a strange, disorienting way, she reminded me of Emma. Emma tilted her head, grinning slyly. Well, well. Looks like I've created myself a twin. Emma clapped her hands like a coach with a new recruit. All right, twin. Makeup's done, outfit's on. But clothes and paint aren't everything. You've got to move like me. Move like you? I echoed nervously. She stood, striking a pose with one hand on her hip. Like this. Confident. Feminine. Effortless. I swallowed, trying to mimic her stance. My hand felt awkward on my hip, my weight shifting clumsily from one leg to the other. Emma snorted. You look like you're waiting in line for the bathroom. Heat flamed in my face. I'm trying. Then try harder. Watch. She glided across the room in a slow, deliberate walk, hips swaying. Then she pointed to the floor. Your turn. My legs felt like concrete, but I moved. One step, then another. The skirt brushed against my thighs, reminding me of every inch of fabric I wore. My movements were stiff, Clunky. Emma smirked. Again. But this time, imagine you're me. You're not Daniel. You're Emma's twin sister. What's her name? Danielle? I flinched at the sound of it, yet something inside me sparked. Danielle? I repeated under my breath. That's better, she said softly, almost encouraging now. Now walk like Danielle would. I tried again, and something shifted. My shoulders relaxed. My hips swayed, not as smoothly as hers, but enough. The skirt fluttered lightly with each step, the heels clicking against the floor. Emma's eyes lit up. Yes. There it is. You're getting it. I stopped, catching my breath. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous or not, she said, grabbing her phone. You look amazing. I need a picture. My stomach lurched. No. Emma, don't you dare. She grinned wickedly. Come on, it's just for us. I won't show anyone. But her finger hovered dangerously close to the camera button. I rushed forward, hands out. I mean it, Emma. She laughed, shoving the phone back into her pocket. Fine, fine. But you're fun when you panic. My chest tightened. It wasn't just fun for her, it was dangerous for me. If anyone ever saw me like this. A sudden knock on the door jolted us both. We froze. Emma's eyes widened. Oh. My heart nearly stopped. Who is it? I whispered. From the other side came a muffled voice. Emma? You home? It's Sarah. Her neighbor. Emma bit her lip, suppressing a grin. What do we do, Danielle? My legs turned to jelly. Emma, no, don't answer it. But she was already tiptoeing toward the door. Emma, I hissed, backing toward the bathroom, but it was too late. She cracked the door open just enough to peek out. Hey, Sarah, she said casually. What's up? I held my breath, pressed against the wall, praying Sarah wouldn't see me. Just wondering if you had any sugar, Sarah's voice drifted in. I'm baking. Sure, Emma said cheerfully. 1 second. She slipped into the kitchen, deliberately leaving the door ajar. I scrambled toward the bathroom, but as I passed the mirror, I caught sight of myself again. Not Daniel. Not entirely. Danielle. The resemblance to Emma was uncanny now, the hair swept back to frame my face, the eyes emphasized by her careful makeup, the skirt swishing with every nervous shift of my stance. I froze, staring at the mirror. For the first time, I wondered if I could actually be her twin. The sound of Emma laughing with Sarah jolted me back. My pulse pounded as I ducked into the bathroom, shutting the door silently behind me. Inside, I leaned against the counter, trembling. This was supposed to be a dare. A joke. Something to laugh about later. But as I stared at the girl in the mirror, the girl who looked like Emma's sister, I realized the truth. This wasn't a costume. This was a door. And the terrifying part was, I wasn't sure I wanted it to close. The gymnasium buzzed with anticipation. It was the annual cultural showcase, where every class prepared a performance. For weeks, Daniel's class had been secretly rehearsing a traditional dance, one that emphasized poise, grace, and precision. Emma, ever the ringmaster of Daniel's strange new life, had volunteered him as one of the lead performers. She claimed he fit the part perfectly, and though Daniel had initially refused, the pressure of classmates who thought Daniela was simply shy forced him to agree. That evening, the stage lights were merciless. The fabric of the borrowed uniform clung tighter than ever, the pleated skirt brushing against his thighs, stockings whispering with each nervous step. Every eye in the gym seemed locked onto him, though he knew logically it couldn't be true. His heart hammered in his chest as the music began. Emma's voice echoed in his head, slow steps, controlled arms, every move deliberate. She drilled him, correcting posture, teaching him where to look, how to bow, how to spin without tangling himself. Now, under the lights, Daniel had to make a choice, stumble through and risk discovery, or commit fully, trusting the character he had built. He inhaled, let the rhythm guide him, and for the first time since this nightmare began, Daniel surrendered to the role. His arms moved with precision, his steps aligned with the others, and the crowd's murmur shifted into soft applause. Emma, watching from the wings, smiled knowingly. But then came the twist. As the performance ended, the principal strode onto the stage, beaming at the class. What a delightful show! Especially from our new transfer student, Daniela. The gym erupted in claps and cheers. Daniel froze. This wasn't just a mistake. The principal believed it. And worse, parents were in the crowd. Phones were out. Pictures snapped. Videos recorded. His throat dried as he bowed along with the others, smile plastered by force. Inside, panic churned. How could he undo this now? Backstage, Emma cornered him, her eyes sharp.
See?
You pulled it off. No one even doubts you. Daniel shook his head. This has gone too far. People are posting online. What if my mom sees? Emma leaned in, lowering her voice. What if she already has? You think she'd believe you if you tried to explain? Her words sent a chill through him. The walls of his world were collapsing, each lie reinforcing the cage Emma had built around him. The following week, the fallout spread. Students began greeting Daniela in the hallways, some even asking her to sit with them. Daniel's closest friends seemed to drift, confused why he hadn't introduced this supposed twin before. The deception was tangled too deep now. And then came the final push. Emma handed him a sealed envelope, a printed form from the office. They want Daniela officially registered. Transfer papers. Daniel's hands trembled as he opened it. His name wasn't there. Instead, Daniela Rose. Birth date altered, details aligned, all forged with frightening precision. He looked at Emma, horrified. What did you do? She smirked. I didn't do anything. The school just assumes. And if you want this secret safe, if you want your reputation protected, you'll play along until we figure something out. The weight of the uniform pressed heavier than ever. Daniel wasn't pretending anymore. To the world, Daniela existed, and she was real. And for the first time, as he caught his reflection in the mirror, a girl's face staring back with wide, frightened eyes, Daniel wasn't sure he could argue. The week after the performance was the longest of Daniel's life. Every corridor he walked through echoed with voices calling, Daniela, not Daniel, not even a mistaken slip. Just Daniela, everywhere, all the time. Teachers, students, even the janitor seemed convinced. He tried correcting someone once. It's Daniel, actually. They just laughed. Funny accent, Daniela. You really do sound like your brother sometimes. That was the moment he realized no one believed him anymore. The lie had become stronger than the truth. At home, things weren't better. His mother had seen the video of the performance, glowing with pride. I didn't know you had such talent, Daniela, she said absent-mindedly one night at dinner, not even catching her own slip. When Daniel protested, she waved him off. Don't be so sensitive. Everyone makes mistakes. But she didn't correct herself the next time. Or the time after that. Emma, meanwhile, tightened her grip. She began coaching him beyond posture and politeness. Now it was full routines. How to sit at lunch with the girls, how to braid his hair before class, how to apply just enough mascara to look natural under fluorescent lights. Daniel fought, at first. This isn't me. I'm not your project. I'm not Daniela. Emma leaned close, her words cutting deep. Then prove it. Go into class tomorrow, stand up in front of everyone, and shout that you're Daniel. Watch them laugh in your face. Watch them not believe you. You can't undo this, Daniel. You can only decide whether to be clumsy and pathetic, or to own it and shine. Her challenge gnawed at him all night. Sleep evaded him as he replayed the moment under the stage lights, the applause, the cheers, the acceptance. For the first time, he'd felt admired instead of mocked. And so, the next morning, he put on the skirt without protest. Days turned into weeks, and Daniel slipped further into Daniela. He perfected his voice, softening the edges. He walked with precision, shoulders back, chin lifted. The teachers praised his transformation into a confident young woman. Classmates confided in him, invited him into circles he'd once been excluded from. The more he played the role, the less it felt like a performance. Yet inside, a storm brewed. One evening, alone in his room, Daniel stared at the uniform hanging neatly on the chair. He whispered to himself, "Who am I anymore? The mirror gave him no answers, only the face of a girl who had replaced him. Emma appeared in the doorway, arms crossed. Still doubting? Look at you. You're graceful. You're admired. You're living a life you never could as Daniel. He turned to her, voice trembling. But I didn't choose this. Emma's expression softened for the first time. She stepped forward, resting a hand on his shoulder. Maybe not. But choices aren't always clear. Sometimes, life pushes us where we were meant to be all along. The words sank deep, confusing, terrifying, yet strangely comforting. The next day, Daniel, or Daniela, walked through the halls without flinching at the whispers. He smiled when classmates greeted him. He answered to his new name without hesitation. He no longer corrected anyone. The uniform no longer felt like a costume. As he reached his classroom, he paused, gripping the doorknob. In that instant, a thought crystallized. Perhaps Daniel was gone, and Daniela was who he had always been destined to become. Or perhaps Daniel still lingered, buried deep, waiting for courage to claw back. The bell rang. He stepped inside. For now, the world knew only Daniela, and Daniel wasn't sure if he wanted it any other way.